You know, often celebrities, whether they be actors or singers or sports people, they often hit a bump in the road, a professional bump in the road. It could be they're not getting enough work, or maybe they need money to get their kids through college, or maybe there's an expensive divorce. But when the cash flow stops, celebrities have to resort to plan B. And as you know, the secret of life is how you handle plan B. Well, for celebrities, plan B is the commercial.
Press the button. There it is. It's as simple as that. Polaroids SX70, land camera.
When we're on a Death Valley day set and water's not handy, Rexo waterless hand cleaner really cleans up for us.
I'm gonna show you how you can whoop roaches with decon power, decon Forgoon.
Now, those were all well-known people cashing in on their ability to sell products to people. They were, in the new term, influencers. But there are another type of commercial, and I'm not really referring to these. These are the people who were caught early on in their careers appearing in commercials. They weren't using their celebrity because they didn't have any. They were building their resumes.
Hey, how do you like this big shot? Couple of years out of college and he's buying expensive cars.
Joey, you need such an expensive car.
CPAs make money.
The new VW Fastback sedan. It seats four, with more room for elbows and legs. It's pretty jazzy.
Every day's a holiday with Hot Boy. I'm Happy Hot Boy.
She's going to have the best care a car ever had. Put Royal Triton in Cynthia's little tummy.
Right, lady.
Cynthia will just love that Royal Triton.
Even these days, commercials are not considered to be, strictly speaking, what an actor or a singer or a sports celebrity should be doing. They should be doing what they do, not making money out of commercials. So what most of them do is to do their commercials abroad, out of their country of origin. That way, they're not embarrassed by the fact that they're just shilling. Well, with all that said, I'd like to talk about the problems of being an influencer. How one small step can lead to the collapse of the House of Cards. Take the man with the voice of gold, one of my heroes, Orson Welles, the man who made two of the best films ever, Citizen Kane and Chimes at Midnight. There was a time when the world was at his feet, but he was too ill-disciplined, maybe he was egocentric. He couldn't work within the studio system, so he had to fund his independent film projects through, I guess we'd call it Plan B now, wouldn't we? Commercials.
It was Shakespeare who posed the question, what's in a name? And in modern-day commerce, the answer would be everything. When you buy a Nashua copier, you're also buying the fiercely proud reputation of the company whose copiers outsold all other plain paper copiers worldwide.
I've discovered a camera, the Vivitar. It's a pocket camera with a great idea. The electronic flash is built in, see? Now my flash pictures don't have to be blurry or fuzzy because somebody moved. Deep below the plains of southern France, in a mysterious process begun millions of years ago, nature herself adds life to the icy waters of a single spring. Perrier.
In 1892, a small vineyard in California called Paul Masson began producing wine. They were a low-caliber product, but in an attempt to rebrand themselves, their commercials began to feature some pretty well-known actors.
Nearly 100 years ago, Paul Masson had the audacity to make his wine slowly and with the greatest care. This elegant Chablis is proof that at Paul Masson, making wine is an art that has never changed.
Well, after Gielgud, they decided to go with Orson Welles.
Took Beethoven 4 years to write that symphony. Some things can't be rushed. Good music And good wine. Paul Masson's Emerald Dry.
Margaret Mitchell began writing Gone with the Wind in 1926, and she finished it 10 years later. The writing of a great book, or the making of a fine wine, takes time.
I like to cast a party the way I cast a play with very special people, and the champagne must be equally special.
A great deal of time and care go into the production of a fine play, just as they go into the making of a fine wine.
It was a pretty
Almost
lucrative
sounds
contract, and it
Brian
lasted for 3 or 4 years, 500,000 a year, and he got all the residuals he needed. So he was able to fund many of his projects, like Don Quixote, out of the money that he made from commercials. And then someone leaked these outtakes.
Action, Orson, please.
He doesn't do anything?
No, it's sorry, cut.
The French. The French champagne. Champagne has always been celebrated for its excellence by Paul Masson, inspired by that same French excellence.
Orson Welles and the director of the commercials claimed that he wasn't drunk, that actually he was tired from a night shoot and he'd taken a pill, and that's why he was the way he was. But it was too late. The comedians made hay.
Tonight we continue with the later works of Orson Welles.
A rich, full-bodied wine, sensibly priced at $1 a jug. And now for a little magic, I will make this jug disappear.
It's fermented in the bottle and like the best French spirit.
What time does that mean?
Paul Masson fired Orson Welles. And worse still, someone now leaked tapes of Orson Welles doing a radio commercial.
We know a remote farm in Lincolnshire where Mrs. Buckley lives. Every July, peas grow there. Do you really mean that?
Yeah, so in other words, I'd start half a second late.
Don't you think you really want to say July over the snow? Isn't that the fun of it?
If you can make it almost when that shot disappears, it'll make my...
I think it's so nice that you see a snow-covered field and say every July peas grow there.
You're emphasizing prairie fed.
But you can't emphasize beef. That's like wanting me to emphasize in before July. Come on, fellas, you're losing your heads.
Sorry.
I wouldn't direct any living actor like this in Shakespeare the way you do this. It's impossible.
Well,
Look, I don't need to do this. I've got a fish stick commercial in an hour. Oh, what the hell? I need the money. What?
Because Findus freeze the cod at sea and then add a crumb crisp coating. That's tough, crumb crisp coating. I think, no, because of the way it's written, you need to break it up, because it's not as conversationally written. What?
Take crumb out.
Take crumb out. Good. Here under protest is beef burgers. We know a little place in the American far west where Charlie Briggs chops up the finest prairie-fed beef and tastes. This is a lot of shit, you know that.
There's no money in the world worth this kind of aggravation. If you want this done, you'll just have to find some actor who does impressions.
I don't understand you then. What must be over for July?
When we get out of that snowy field.
When I was out, we were onto a can of peas, a big dish of peas when I said in July.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes, always.
And that phrase, yes, always, became another punchline.
You jumping for a reason, young man? Who is that?
That's our director, Mr. Wells.
That is a director?
Yeah.
What? I'm on my mark. Yes, always.
In the cruel and very competitive world of celebrity, it only takes one mistake, as we all now know, to kill a reputation. In popular culture, Orson Welles became the fat man with the drink problem, the egocentric person. To me, he'll always be one of the great creative geniuses of the 20th century. Today, an advertising agency would have advised him to use his weakness as his strength. I think they would have said to Welles, why don't you embrace the drunken image, make fun of yourself? But that's the way we think now. Poor old Orson, huh? You never know, because from this example I'm going to show you now, that strategy might just have worked.
Welcome to 4G. Don't touch my hand, man.
All right. This is the new version. This is 5G.
No, now it's 5G.
It's just 5G. So
Okay, all right.
now it's 5G.
This is 5G, I think.
It's a 5G.
What you talking about?
Just a 5G. Just
I'm
say a
getting
5. Just
pretty
say
damn-
5G.
I'll take it from here.
How many bloody G's are there?
It's Fever. 6G Fever.
What's a 6G?
What the f***'s a beaver?